A little over 14 months ago, Daniel Poncedeleon, he suffered a life-threatening injury. He was struck in the head by a batted ball, and he needed emergency brain surgery. He was hit in the right temple, and he was pitching in AAA. They said he had a fracture to his skull. He had bleeding on the brain, spent a week in intensive care after surgery, inactive for 3 months. I don't know if he was thinking about his baseball career at the time, but then he gets called up, and he throws 7 no-hit innings last night. And Daniel joins us now. Daniel, thanks for joining us. How do you feel today?
I feel good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It was a pretty that was a heartwarming story. It was a feel-good story last night. How did you feel when you first got on the mound last night?
I felt pretty calm and focused, and it's comfortable when you look up and you see Yachty over there dropping down signs for you.
Take me back 14 months ago. If I said, you know what, 14 months from now, you're going to be on the mound and flirting with a no-hitter, what would you have said after you suffered that injury?
If you told me I would be on the mound,
yeah,
I would believe you. But flirting with a no-hitter, I don't know about that. I've never done that in my career, but every time you go out, you always hope to throw a no-hitter or a perfect game.
Any doubts along the way with rehab, getting back into baseball?
No, not at all. I was just sitting there waiting. Once my skull healed, I knew it was off to the races. What
did you remember about that night when you were hit with that comebacker?
I remember pretty much everything up to surgery, and then after the next couple of days is when I finally came to.
How do you get past being gun shy with the crack of the bat now? I don't know what kind of hurdle, mental or physical, that would be for you, but did you have any of that last night when you heard the ball hit the bat? Not that it hit the bat that often, but.
No. I would say I got through it with just faith in God and his plan for what he has for me.
But did you have anybody who told you that maybe you shouldn't be on the mound anymore?
Nope. None of the doctors said anything like that. After they saw how quickly I got better, they were optimistic. Did
you lobby to stay in last night?
When I came out in the 7th inning, I knew I was pretty deep in pitch count, and I knew my bat was up, and I obviously have not been good at the plate this year. And it was a 1-run game, so I knew it was time, and it was the right decision.
More nervous at the plate or on the mound last night?
100% the plate. I am not a good hitter, and facing a guy throwing 95+ miles an hour is never fun.
What'd your teammates say to you when you came out?
They all hugged me and told me good job and smiled, and they're the best.
How many texts and phone messages did you receive after your performance?
Oh, at least over 200. My phone is still buzzing from people over. My wife's phone's buzzing. My dad's phone's buzzing. So, yeah, it's probably going for a couple of days.
That's pretty cool. Did you have a favorite player, pitcher growing up?
Player-wise, growing up when I was a kid, was Mike Piazza. And pitcher-wise, it would be Pedro Martinez.
Well, you don't pitch like Pedro. You look a little different than Pedro out there, but that's not a bad guy to have as somebody you looked up to. Hey, Daniel, wonderful. Have you met him, by the way?
Pedro?
Yeah.
I spoke to him last night for the first time, and that was the only time I ever talked to him.
Wait, so MLB tonight, and then all of a sudden they said, Pedro's on the phone. You're like, give me that phone.
It was the MLB Network, and they did a little interview, and I was kind of starstruck.
Oh, that's cool. Well, are you looking forward to facing anybody in particular?
No, I haven't really looked that far into it. Just I pretty much take it one hitter at a time.
Well, that's the way to approach it. When's your next start?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't been told anything, but I'll be ready to go within the next 5 days to pitch again.
Well, good luck, and great performance last night. Great story. Thank you, Daniel. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Daniel Poncedeleon, the Cardinals starting pitcher. That's a great name. I'm waiting for the fountain of youth. At age 26, he's, reclaimed.
Like who discovered a Cy Young.
Yeah, rediscovered. Like you have a fountain with the Cy Young coming out of it. Yes, Paul.
I didn't play baseball. You guys played and pitched and stuff like that. Do they teach you when you're learning to be a pitcher how to defend yourself? Or is that not something you even put in a pitcher's head?
Never, ever practiced it.
Right.
Ever. Yeah, Fritzy.
My coach showed me a little bit about a follow through and how he prefer you to end up so that you can feel the ground ball.
Yeah.
But that's far different than a line drive off an aluminum bat that could be coming at your head.
You'll find some pitchers who want you to hit the ball are ready to field the ball. Maddox was brilliant at this. Greg Maddox, I don't know how many Gold Gloves he won, but he wanted you to get yourself out because why throw 8 pitches to get you to ground out or strike you out? Why not try to throw 2 or 3 to get you to hit the pitch I want you to hit and get yourself out? So Maddox was always ready to field. And a lot of these guys, they spend so much time and energy on the delivery and not the follow-through of where you land. And you'll land off to the side of the mound, whereas if you watched Maddox, when he threw, he was ready to receive a ground ball. Yes, he.
Yeah, I remember, you're supposed to sort of bring your leg around and be ready in a stance, but by the time you got rid of the ball, it felt like it was already right back on top of you in a way. And so it was more something that you just chose not to think about rather than practice. I'd rather not think about a comebacker.
I remember, and I was pitching this was after college, and I'm pitching in a league in Cincinnati. And there were guys who played minor league baseball, guys who got called up to the majors. And I remember throwing a fastball, and this guy hit a liner over my head. I swear to God, I can still hear it go by my head. He hit it so, like I didn't fool him with anything. He was already a professional hitter. And I just kept thinking, if he had hit it like 2 feet lower, like he'd stop my heart. He had hit just this bullet, and I didn't even see it. I heard it. And I remember facing pitchers where I didn't even see the ball. A left-hander who eventually pitched in high minors. I remember he threw a ball, and I just remember the ump going, "Strike," and I said, it sounded like a strike. Like I'm saying to myself, that sounded like a strike. I didn't see it. It was that whoa, it was just a blur. But that's a great story. Congrats to him, and trying to come back from that just to get on the mound after you have that, you get hit in the temple. Intensive care 14 months later.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.